hello, good day, hail and well met, so on and so forth. We have entered what I like to sometimes call wizard season, which, for those of you who are not me, refers to the time of year that, the weather makes me feel like rereading Howl's Moving Castle again. Even though the book takes place over summer and not, like, the middle of spring. Middle of spring! Dorian, you're filming this in February! Spring has barely started! Indeed, yes, dear viewer who maybe lives in Europe or perhaps on the East Coast, but for most places in California, spring actually functionally starts in, like, December, because we don't really have winter here anymore. Anyway, point is, mid to late spring always gives me very, like, whimsical cottagecore, kind of like modern fantasy. Right now, in particular, I'm on very much like an 80s fantasies kick. Wow, I look so far away. Why? Wizardcore is an aesthetic that I don't really dabble in very much. I tend to gravitate more towards like earthy aesthetics and away from ones that tend to involve a lot of jewel tones. It's an aesthetic that I love looking at, and I don't remember what exactly prompted this, but I got it into my head at some point that I really wanted like a wizardy, like celestial Swiss waist type of thing. I've been in the market for something like a Swiss waist for kind of a while now, actually, because I've got these pants that I love that are, they were listed as high-waisted on Depop, but they're not, they're mid-rise. But they're great pants, and I would really like to have something that I can use to sort of extend them into like a high-waisted silhouette. And then of course, for maximum versatility, we are going to make this reversible. I found a good handful of some really great secondhand fabric options for this. This is the one that I got. I found this guy on eBay. Honorable mention goes to this little guy who was a very close second because he was free, but I really wanted gold in the color palette, so I'll have to save this one for something else. And also this one has just like a little bit of like metallic leafing on it, and that's something I was really hoping to find as well. So in that same trip to scrap where I found this one, I also got this. And when I got home, I found a label on it, a little sticker with a handwritten note on it that said cotton coutil, and I am not familiar with coutil, so I look it up. Turns out this stuff is the traditional fabric used for corsetry. I saw a lot of blog-style kind of websites saying that it was developed specifically for corsetry, but I haven't seen an actual historical source for that, and I don't really need to go looking for one. It's not important to me, so I don't know how true that is, but either way, incredibly lucky find. This will give me a lot of like good structure. I think this should be a relatively simple process, hopefully, and I'm gonna try to bang this thing out in a week because I have so many responsibilities that I should be attending to, and this is not one of them. So the measurements that I'm working with is I want this to cinch down at the natural waist to about 26 inches. And then I think in order to figure out how wide these ought to be, ideally, instead of just copying from that pattern, because I think I want these to be symmetrical if I can get that to work, this will be this like highest point around my hips. That's gonna be a total of 33 inches. So if I just kind of, these divided by 4, 27, what is it? So these, each of these panels would be 6.5. And then, like measuring down parallel to that, each of these would have to be 8.25. I don't know if this is how this is actually done. I don't have any experience in corset making. Cannot emphasize that enough. And then the rest of these measurements, I just gotta like eyeball, like this would come down actually realistically further than that. These would not be even. It wouldn't be very drastic. I want this to be, what is it, 3.5? Yeah, and then these would be like 4.5 to 5 inches. Approximately. So not quite as like drastic a curve as that corset, but still has, you know, some shape to it. That seems so drastic. Okay, you know, can't find out if you don't fuck around. I realize what I did and why they were looking so wrong. I divided my waist measurement by 4 instead of by 8 if I want 4 pieces on each side. I was a theater major. I haven't taken a math class in at least a decade. Not true, college wasn't actually that long ago. Almost a decade though. What? What are you yelling at me about? Here's the problem. The original plan that I had was to stitch boning channels along the seams between the panels and then like one stitch out to the side so that like we've got a seam here and then we've got a channel seam here, so that on this side the boning channels would be would be more disguised. And then in the center back, instead of that, I did one stitch on either side of the center back seam. So you've got a seam down the middle and then stitching on either side of it, and that's the boning channel with the seam down the middle. As I was doing the rest of these, I realized that like that might have been a better approach to like all of them, because I was trying my best, but I was not able to get these all like exactly the same size. And also the fabric has like, they're different fabrics, right? So they've got different properties. The starry one has significantly more like stretch than the coutil. So it's just like, it's difficult to get them line up like exactly, right? So that resulted in like, I did my like stitching right down the seam on the black side because it's a more solid fabric versus this side is like busy, so you can't see where the stitches are as well. So like in this case, we've got the seam here on this side. We've got, this is the corresponding seam on the back, and then the other boning channel seam. And so like they're a little bit off, and I don't really like it, but I was like, it'll be fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. But then I was realizing, like, do I actually need boning in this? It's small. Boning looks really nice, but like it's small, and it's not really holding, like, it's very well tailored to me. It fits me like my proportions exactly, and it's not really going to be under all that much strain because of that. So like the center back thingies, like the part with the lacing, this part needs boning, obviously, because that needs, you know, more structure. But the rest of it, I might just take these all out. I feel like wizardcore is kind of like the masculine counterpart to Whimsigoth's feminine energy, do you know what I mean? Like, not in the sense that either style is inherently gendered, but like the energy, the vibe, do you know what I'm saying? Whimsigoth feels very like nature-y and mysterious and a little bit bohemian, and then wizardcore is like constantly infused with the undertones of like stupid, chaotic meme energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I think this came out great. I did in fact get it done in a week, despite having a 4-day migraine, and then also binge reading all of Dungeon Meshi and subsequently developing an intense hyperfixation. And then now here I am, you know, not filming the reveal until a full month later. It doesn't really suffer from the lack of boning. If anything, I have even actually found it useful to be able to like flip this part up when it's in the front, to be able to like access my pants without having to unlace the thing. The only thing I foresee being really a potential problem is the eyelets are very small, so it'll be like more difficult to find a material to lace it with. Like the ribbon I have in right now is blue, which matches one side of it, but not both sides. I didn't have a black ribbon that was this size. I did just buy some black ribbon for Kifri, which might work depending on how I burn the ends. Maybe, but it's much wider than this, so I will have to see. Should I ideally have used grommets? Yes, but did I want to go and get grommets and any other supplies that I would need for installing grommets and then learn how to install grommets? Oh my god, no, so I didn't. It's fine, it's nobody's problem but mine, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, that's all I got right now. Thank you for hanging out with me for a bit. If you're new around here and you liked it, I will invite you to subscribe. I upload like once every 2 months. It's a very casual kind of relationship. I also monetized recently, so I'll start, you know, begging for likes for algorithm reasons, I guess. I'm also gonna plug my shop. If you want a custom ear cuff, I can make you a custom ear cuff. I need money. Have a good rest of your day. Ponder some orbs. Do not summon any entities from the soup realms unless you have a demon handling license. I'm so serious about this. I really popped the fuck off with some of these outfits. Like, these are some all-time bangers. Shit, that's the sun. Oh my god. Yeah. It's not food, sorry. It's ribbon. This is so weird, because, like, I never actually filled this out even when I did have boobs. And now it's like... you know? Oh, don't put holes in my scarf, please. They're pointy. Can you hear that? What are you doing? Like, why? Who are you trying to impress in this fucking tiny ass town?